Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Oh my god, the first time I said this, I was on FaceTime with my boyfriend and he was like, I can hear you. I was like, oh god, oh no. So I'm here doing this again. But you guys, the Sims 4 Horse Ranch gameplay trailer just dropped, I guess today, but I guess when you're seeing this, it was yesterday. So I will put a link in the description down below for you guys to go take a look at it. I was gonna do a review about it, but I find that when I do reviews, the videos don't do as well. And I know there'll be like some people here, they'll be like, Jamie, I'll watch it. I'm like, that's great. I just find that like I put so much into them and then they just don't do well. So I don't know, let me know if you guys want to see that. If not, it's totally okay. I can stick to kind of doing challenges and builds and let's plays in the future. And maybe when we get our family grows a little bit more, maybe then I can do a lot more reviews. But for now, I just feel like it just isn't as popular, and I'm just gonna go with it. If it was anything else, then maybe. But right now, I am building something currently, and as you guys can see, I'm building a like family home for a horse ranch. Obviously, that is what I'm doing, and I'm so awkward. I'm so sorry. Girl, I have so much to tell you. You know I don't like talking about a build. I like telling you guys about stories that happen in my work, in my life. And okay, so if any of you guys know this, there is a girl at my work, and let's name her like, I don't know, let's name her like Emma. Okay, so Emma is our new ASM, and for weeks, I don't know if I've told you guys, but I had this really weird feeling that she is going to use my code when you check someone out. Now, you always get assigned a code so that when you check out a customer, it will go under you. And that's kind of like the whole, idea for it. And if you use someone else's code when you check someone out, that can be fraudulent. It can be, against policy. So units per transaction, as I'm going to refer to them in this story, is UPT. And then the average transaction value is ATV, which is just the amount when people bring in their items that they want to buy, the overall like price of it, I guess. So say like if a person brings in 2 items, my UPT, which is just like units per transaction, which is just like 2 items, it'll be like 2, and it'll probably be a percentage like 2.3 something. I don't know why, but you always just focus on the 2. And then the average transaction, since they had 2 items, maybe it comes out to like, I don't know, like $27. So then my average transaction value currently will be $27 in something cents, whatever it may be. So that is what I'm referring to. So just to catch you guys up, if you guys don't know, okay, so Emma has been a pain in the booty every single time I'm at work. Not just me, but even my manager, even a couple girls that I work with, and obviously myself. And I think she's not gonna last long. She's still in her probation period, so I don't see her lasting a really long time. And so I have been worried for a really long time that she is gonna be using my code, and it was so weird. I had a dream kind of about it before anything happened, so I never remember my dreams like at all, and it's very rare that I do. And so in this dream, it was just me walking down a path, and then it was like this little fox that was like following me, and I kept trying to be like, why are you following me? And it just, obviously it's a fox, it's not going to talk back. It just kind of just like stared at me and then kept walking, but kept like following me around. And I was like, that is so weird. And when I woke up, I was like, no, that has to mean something. That's super strange. So I look it up, and it says that it means that like there's a person that's going to come into your life and portray them as something, and then they're going to, their intentions are going to be something else. So obviously, keeping that in mind, I was like, okay, well, who's someone new that just came into my life? And that was Emma. Now, with Emma at work, she's already been acting like very sussy. I'm sorry for using the word sussy, but like I don't trust her at all. And so one day we were going through like some cashier things, and she found a spot where you could use someone else's code and switch it over. And so it's like not her. It would be like me or any of the other girls that I'm working with, right? And I was like, okay, well, we don't have to worry about that. I'm like, don't use other people's codes, just use your own. And she was like, oh, okay. So as people come into the store a lot, we've all noticed that she doesn't like it when people just buy one thing, because it brings your average, your ATV down and your UPT. And we always want it to be above like a certain number. Now with her, I had this really weird feeling for a really long time that she was going to use my code. So every time that I finished work with her, I would take a picture of my stats by the end of my shift. So I would always remember that I had like I could always check back the next day that I come in to see if anything's been altered. So, for the past like 2 to 3 weeks, I haven't seen anything, but I still didn't think that, I should stop. Like I knew like something was going to happen. And lo and behold, a couple days ago, I looked at my my transactions, and I guess before that, when I got into my workplace, I was with my manager, and she was like, "Are you still taking pictures of that stuff?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And she goes, "Really?" She's like, "Have you seen anything?" I'm like, "Nothing yet, but if I do, I'll let you know." And she was like, "Okay." And she's like, "You really think that she's gonna do something, eh?" And I was like, "I have this weird feeling. I have this really strange feeling that is gonna happen. Something is gonna happen." And that day, probably 10 minutes after that, I go and check my numbers, but I didn't have my phone with me. So I just checked it, and I was like, oh, okay, because I know that day I had about like 30 something transactions. So when I saw 34 transactions, I was like, oh, okay, I think that's right. But let me go grab my phone that has the picture just to double check. So I go into the back and I, pull up my phone, I press the photos and I'm scrolling, and then I come across the picture that I used to, take a picture of my stats. And it was on the week, like before the weekend. So it was a Friday. Now it's a Monday. And I'm like, okay, it's been a couple of days. So I look and I see the photo, and now it said 34 transactions instead of 33. And I was like, what the heck? I'm like, oh my gosh. So I like run out, I burst the door open. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know. Let's call her Haley. I was like, Haley, I'm like, look, oh my gosh, someone did it. Someone used my code. And she was like, oh my God, really? And I was like, yeah, look. So I felt so proud of myself. And so I run over and I go check, and I can see that she already used my code. And I was not like impressed, but I was so happy. It was like Candace trying to bust Phineas and Ferb. Like it was so liberating. It was so good. So now my manager knows that she has been doing some fraudulent activity, because when we went through the journal on the computer to see the transactions and see what time it was at, who used it, and it was her using my name. So we already knew that was an issue, and like she can't be trusted. So that day, Emma comes in and we start working together, and someone comes into the store and I say, hi, how are you? Here are the sales, da 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 da. And so I go off and I go do my own thing. And so I come back and Emma goes, oh, I used your code. It was so weird trying to do it because it wasn't letting me, da 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 da. I was like, whoa, hold on. You used my code? And she was like, yeah, I did, because you were helping them, weren't you? And I was like, no, all I did was say hi, here were the things, and then I left. That in our store, we have to understand that saying hi and telling them the sales doesn't make it your customer. You usually have to spend like 5-10 minutes with them and then, tell them everything, help them out. That would be considered your customer, okay? So with that, I was like, you used my code? And she was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, okay. I'm like, okay. okay, right, okay. So then right after that, I go into the back and I tell my manager again. I was like, she used my code without telling me. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm serious. And the funny thing is about when she used the transaction, she hid the receipt that originally was that 34 transaction on my name. Usually you have to print a receipt because the one that she did was a return, and she put it under my name so that it wouldn't affect her UPT and it would just bring down my numbers. And you're supposed to keep the receipt that has, your signature, and it shows who did the transaction, who it was under. So she hid it from my manager. So my manager already knows, like, she can't be trusted, and I don't know why she didn't just get fired. So then again that day I came and I said, she used my code again, and she was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no. She's like, great, well, I'm doing her 1-to-1 because she's still in her 3-month probation period, and in that probation period, it kind of helps the managers and the district managers and all that fun stuff kind of figure out whether or not they want to keep you. So you're kind of just like floating around until after 3 months they can't fire you without a reason. And so Emma goes in the back with Haley, and they do their 1-to-1. But before they did their 1-to-1, Haley showed Emma that we had to do a whole switch with the shelves for like our lines and stuff. And so she was showing her all these things, and she'd have to do them all. And then she goes, oh wait, I have to do your 1-to-1. She's like, Jamie, do you mind doing this for a little bit until Emma comes back out, and then she can do it? And I said, oh yeah, no problem, because I've already done it before with my previous manager. So I was like, yeah, I know how to do it, that's fine. So I do I think about like 3 shelves, because they're big shelves, so it takes me a bit, but not too long. It was pretty quick. And so I do it, and then they finish their 1-to-1, and then I went home. And then I come back the next day, and I saw a note from Emma, and it said, hey, so-and-so, whoever was working in the morning the next day, do you mind finishing the shelves? And if you don't know how to do it, just wait for Jamie to come in and she can tell you how to do it. And so I come in and my friend shows me it, and I go, oh, yeah, okay, well, how many shelves did she do? And then I was reading it, and I was taking a look at the shelves, and Emma did none. And just to let you guys know, I left around 6 o'clock, my manager left around 7, and Emma was there until 9 o'clock. Now, I was like, okay, well, maybe it was a little bit busy, so she couldn't do it. I checked the journals to see what I'm crazy. I checked the journals to go see how many transactions she did and what times they're at. From the time that my manager left to the time that Emma had to close the store, it was from 7 to 9 o'clock. In those 2 hours, she did 2 transactions, so she had a lot of time to do it. So needless to say, I was quite frustrated because she had so much time and she didn't even do 1 shelf, which takes like 5 minutes. It's not even that bad. So I wasn't happy. So I did them all, and I finished it. The next day rolls over. Me and Emma are working together. Now, I wrote down, we have like a little diary, and I wrote down like little notes, vague notes. I don't call out anyone, I just use vague notes. And it says, oh, good morning, everyone. Don't use other people's codes. Don't do this. We got to remember, establish, what does it mean when it means that it's your customer? Work as a team. Let's have a great day. Da, 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 da. So she comes over, and I guess she wrote in the diary. And when I came in for work the next day there, I saw it. And the place that I put, don't use other people's codes without telling them or asking them, then she put like a little comment being like, oh yeah, big no, don't do that. Don't do anything like that. And I'm like, girl, that's what you've been doing though. So it was so funny. Like, the manager knows, everyone else knows. It's just a joke at this point. And she came in, and I was working with her, and we just had like a full day. And then 10 minutes before she left, she was like, oh, I have to go grab some stuff from the offsite and I'll bring it back. And I was like, okay. So she leaves, comes back with a crate full of stuff. Like the thing is filled to the brim. If you move it, everything will fall. Like there was just so much boxes. And then she's like, oh, I hate to leave you here with all this stuff, but I'm done now. And I was like, oh. And she was like, yeah. Okay, have a nice night though. And I was like, okay, by the way, you guys, her voice is so annoying. I have never had an issue with anyone's voice before, but it is so annoying. And even my mom came in that day and she was like, I don't like her voice. And I was like, I know, I can't do anything about it, but that's just the way she is. But yeah, it's a lot. And so yeah, she's just been a pain in my booty for a while, and I would love to tell you guys so many more stories that are happening. I don't even have time to show you all of it, but if you did like this story time, if you like this video and you are new, hi, how are you? My name is Jamie. I'm also known here as Simspiration here on YouTube. I do a lot of speed builds. I was gonna say let's plays, not yet. I will be doing a let's play for the New Horse Ranch expansion pack, but I usually do speed builds and a lot of speed build challenges or challenges in general when I can. But yeah, if you want to see that and if you like this video, maybe please consider like, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you all later. Bye guys.